All right, my lovelies, let's get this on the go. Good morning. Let's start. Hope you had a good weekend. Here we go. We'll crank this speed up to about 3. And we'll get an incline going. Oh, this thing remembers. Well, that's not too bad. All right. Well, I hope you all had a good weekend. We got a lot of stuff done. Not quite as much as I would like. Did manage to get a couple good workouts in. Got some box jumping in. Got my jump height up to 30 inches. I'll try and get to 36. Got to order some new shoes. These ones are starting to get a little soft on the underside. I know it's probably not the best thing to sit here and watch somebody walk on a treadmill. But I think if there's a lot of people out there, who need some sort of motivation. There's so much out there. So much information out there. I can understand why people just don't even bother to start. I mean, thankfully, I started 20 odd years ago. Probably about 20 years ago. Spent about 5 years in the gym. You know, kids were young. Raised my kids, full-time job, working construction. Go to the gym after work. Pile it out. Come home, cook. Do all that stuff, raise your kids. You know. And you really don't think about it until you're past that stage. You kind of realize how much work you put in. Not just yourself, but altogether. Reflection is a great tool. I think it really helps you develop as a human too. And it's a little chilly in here today, considering it was almost 20 degrees yesterday. I know it's odd, eh? Seeing somebody walk on a treadmill drinking a coffee. No different than walking on the curb. The Timmy's in your hand. Oh, fuck. Woo! Oh, man. I was going to leave the door open, but it's a little too chilly for that today. I plugged in the scale, 198 this morning. 5 pounds away from where I used to be back in my late 20s. It's crazy to think. When I was in my late 20s, I was about 195 pounds. And I was working out. So that was a true weight. And here I am now in my early 50s at 198 pounds. And probably much bigger. A lot more muscle, a little bit more size. But I've learned a lot, especially in these last few years. I'll throw some photos up of like when I, maybe here. I'll find them, put the photos up when I kind of hit my best shape in my late 20s. And I'll put the photos up of me just before 50. Almost 3 years ago. And that's when it hit me. I was 50 and I was having a lot of physical problems. Mobility, cardiovascular, being weak. It was a feeling that I wasn't comfortable with. So I spent a lot of time researching the things that I needed to do in order to understand how my metabolism was working at this age range. Because your metabolism in your 50s is much different than it is in your 20s. And if you're not recognizing that fact, well, that might have a lot to do with it. This engine slows down. It still burns just fine. Just slows down. Like my truck. Bought my truck brand new. Right off the showroom floor. 13 kilometers. 2013. That truck's still sitting in the driveway. Almost 500,000 kilometers on it now. You're a little rusty. Body's falling apart a bit here and there. Tailgate doesn't always work. But that motor fires up every morning. But it requires a little bit of time to warm up now. You can hear it just chugging along. The body's a lot like that. You can have the capacity in your 50s that you did in your 20s. But you have to understand what you got to do to get there first. How to maintain that. Because maintaining is a lot easier than losing. Whew. Trust me, I've done that a few times. Even over the course of the last 2.5, almost 3 years. I did strict dieting, deload weeks, surplus weeks, food-wise. Small breaks from the gym. And it's important. You can't go all out all year. You can't go all out for more than about 6 months. You have to break. Your body will love you for it. That's what I did. I aimed from 275 to 200. That was my goal. I wanted to be below 200. So I dieted hard. You know, not super strict or super restricted. I was still eating about 2,400 calories. But I started to exercise, starting to move. Because moving is the thing. Just get up and move. Just go for a walk. I mean, you can buy treadmills for $100, $150 on the marketplace, on the Kijiji. This is a 10 by 10 shed. Well, it's bigger than that, but I got about a 10 by 10 space. I'm not going to be here every day because I got my last 20. This guy's going to go for 180. See what we can do. I stepped on the scale 198.8 this morning. Even 85. 185. Man, I'd be pretty shredded at 185. Well, I still got a bit of fat to go though. But we're getting there. But that's what I did. I do 16, 20 weeks of dieting. Take 3 weeks off the gym. Just maintain, eat a little bit, but not count my calories. Just put my food tracker away for 2 weeks. And then get right back on it. And it was a little difficult in the beginning to do that. You know. But the longer I did it, the easier it got. And the results I saw were amazing. You got to make sure your body understands that it's not going through all that stress all the time. So you have to. You have to stop dieting. 20 weeks maximum. Go maintenance. Maybe a little bit of surplus. 2-3 weeks. And this is if you're in a heavy fat loss phase. Okay? And again, this is what worked for me. This isn't what works for everybody. That's why it's important to understand how to listen to your body. And it's also important to understand your relationship with foods, right? Because your foods will dictate so much of your mood, your health, your physicality. It's impressive. It's actually impressive what types of foods affect me the best. And they're ground vegetables and anything that you would classify as protein. Red meat, white meat, you know, cows, pigs, chickens, potatoes, carrots. Not many vegetables in my diet. Don't really need them. Don't have any issues with digestion. Not that I don't like vegetables. So you don't need. I eat a lot of fruit though. A lot of frozen fruit. Some fresh fruit. You know, apples and stuff. We live in apple country. We get a lot of apples. But I buy a lot of frozen fruit, a lot of frozen blueberries. So your frozen fruit will actually taste a lot better than your fresh fruit in some cases, just because it's been frozen almost after picking. We'll get this thing set up. All right, what kind of angle we got going here? That's a 5. How high does it go? Oh, it gets up there. That's a 9. I don't think you can see it. Pretty cranked. Back to 5. Yeah, still haven't found any equipment for here, so I think I'm most likely going to end up just shooting a lot of stuff at the gym. I mean, it's just around the corner. I can do all that stuff there. It's a really nice gym. There's a high level of competition. Quite a few people in the gym I attend who are doing shows, stage shows, both fitness and bodybuilding. But everybody there is a high commitment level. It's important in the gym to have a good energy. Yeah, we can all go to the Planet Fitnesses and the Anytimes and all that, and those are great places. Don't get me wrong. If Planet Fitness and Anytime or any of those franchise gyms is the only thing you have access to, if you don't have anything at home, by all means, gyms are awesome. Every gym will have everything you need. The only thing you really need if you're starting, obviously, is dumbbells and a little guidance. But yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I can't find any proper benches. All the dumbbell racks and everything are just way too expensive. Almost brand new cost. So, not thinking that's going to happen. But like I said, we'll go to the gym. I'll do all the stuff in the gym for now. But yeah, I know this is all new. It's all new to me in certain aspects, but you got questions, please ask. You want to know something, please ask. I'm going to try and share information about, obviously, I can regurgitate everything that's out there, but I don't think that's necessary for what I want people to understand. Fitness is for anybody, any level, any age. Obviously, I'm in my early 50s, so my view is from that time frame. But I also think it's good that people in their 50s, even in their 40s, there's no reason not to be physically active that allows you to consistently have good mobility. Mobility is the key thing as you get older. Do it. Find something that you enjoy that's in that fitness bubble. For me, I love lifting weights. I love going to the gym. I love it. I go there 6 days a week. Do I work out hard every single day? No, I don't. But I go there because, like Arnold said, he's addicted. Am I addicted? I got a really good lean for it this time again. And I'm seeing really good results. But I'm also putting in a lot of effort. I got my nutrition pretty much dialed in. Got my training pretty much dialed in. Yeah, we could tweak it here and there. But on this latest stage that I've been working on, managed to move 4 pounds on the scale in about 4 weeks. And they're good pounds too. Playing around with my food intakes, type of food I've been eating. Like I mentioned earlier, I mainly eat potatoes, rice, carrots as my carbs. Sometimes sourdough bread, and I'll sneak a bagel in there. And maybe a chocolate bar. But anyway, I've had a long time to understand how I react to that stuff. And my weight loss daily intake is probably around 1,800. If I make 1,800 calories a day, I'll still lose weight. If I hit 2,000 calories a day, I'll maintain my weight. If I hit 2,200 calories a day, it starts to climb. But this time it's taken me 3 years to learn that. Back in my 20s, I was eating like 3,200 calories, working out, going to work, no problem, losing weight. 3,200 calories. It's 1,000 calories more than I would need now in order to just start gaining. It's 30 years worth of metabolism difference. I think a lot of people don't recognize that. They don't understand that the body slows down, has issues digesting certain things. Obviously, inflammation, all those things creep up. A lot of us have buildup in our bodies. And that's another thing too, when you start losing fat, the toxins, they get stored in your fat too. So, and actually, when you're leaning out, you might feel like crap, basically because your body's releasing some of those toxins back into your bloodstream to use as fuel. There's nothing you can do about that, but just lose the weight. But even now, I'm 75 pounds lighter than I was 2.5 years ago, and I can feel it. Yeah, I'm huffing a little bit here. I mean, we're rolling at 3 miles an hour. I'm trying to maintain a conversation. I forgot my water. I only brought out my coffee like an idiot. But anyway, we've only got 12 minutes on this. But yeah, sometimes this sucks. But it's not that it sucks. It's that it's a bit of a task. And I think people need to understand that when you start viewing things as tasks or chores, if it's a chore, it means you don't want to do it. If it's a task, it's something you need to do. And that's how I view it. I have all these tasks in my day that I got to accomplish. Going to the gym, eating properly, making sure I get, protein, carbs, whatever, right? Make sure that everything's ready to go. Maintain my home, maintain my family, maintain my fridge. Oh God, and cooking. Oh my God, do I cook? I'll throw some cooking up for you too. We're gonna do it all. I'm gonna try and simplify it because it's pretty simple. It's really simple. It's like 3 things you gotta do, but it ain't easy. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. They understand what they gotta do. They know they should be doing it. It's difficult. I've been there. I've done it. Watched my nutrition, hit the gym, dealt with daycare with 2 kids, gone to a job for 60 hours a week, and in the gym for 5-6 hours a week as well. And doing cardio. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. There's no denying it. But the thing that is awesome about something like this is that when you focus on yourself, when you realize that when you're healthy, you have no problems, but when you're not healthy, you only have one problem, it makes a lot of sense. A lot of the things you do in order to take care of this, whether it be to build the muscle or lose the weight or whatever, those will transfer into other aspects of your life. Understanding how to prep food, understanding how to build your workout, all of these little things. Because these are consistent daily habits, right? They fall over into the other areas of your life. I know it sounds kind of weird, but when you become focused on getting healthy, it's the only thing that you want. You want to be healthy. And once you get healthy, like say you hit your goal, you will just set another goal. Because once you achieve that, you realize you can do this. Everybody who goes to the gym is not a bodybuilder. I think a lot of people make that misunderstanding. I see people in the gym all the time who are maintaining their form, their physical form. They may or may not be increasing their weights or may or may not be, trying to put more size on or whatever, but anyone who's consistent in the gym understands. Anyone who's consistent with their cardio, with their nutrition, they understand. And a lot of the times, those people had some serious issues. Getting into the gym and getting healthy and building muscle and becoming stronger and was the thing that they needed. Well, that one almost offset me. I had to put my hand out. 3 minutes to go. I'm sure you probably don't want to listen to me and watch me for 30 minutes at a time. But we'll test it out. See what happens. But yeah, let's do this together, man. I just want people to understand it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling. And it's not about being There is a little vanity that comes with it. Not going to say no. But it is such a good feeling to understand I can climb up that hill. I can walk those stairs. I could go for a 5-kilometer stroll if I wanted to. Can I run? I can run. I'm 200 pounds, bro. I'm not running far, but I can run. But yeah, cardiovascular, very important. And your muscle mass. And I'm going to go over all this stuff because I think it's important. You know, I'm not going to bore you with the science stuff. There's tons of people out there. And I'll tell you who I've watched, who I follow. You know, if Dr. Mike could see me now. Dr. Mike's a good guy. He's funny as your classic. He's classic. Let's just say that. But yeah, there's a lot of it out there. It's almost all the same. The principles are the same. They're just basic principles. You know, eat, sleep, lift. Okay, what do I eat? How much do I sleep? What do I lift? Okay, fair enough. I'll deal with that. Now, I'm not going to necessarily build out programs right away, but I'll show you what I'm doing, you know. And that way you can understand when I say things like 2.5 years ago, my bench press was at 40 pounds, dumbbells. And now I'm pressing 85s. It takes time, especially since we're older. Gotta let our ligaments catch up to our muscles and everything. There's a lot to know. It's not about running to the finish line as fast as possible, but making sure there's enough fuel in the tank and oil in the engine. Because the oil in the engine is the biggest part. Fuel's no problem. We got all kinds of fuel. But understanding how the oil of your body works, very important. We'll get into that too. Well, it looks like we just hit the 30-minute mark. Morning cardio done. Not sure what's on the schedule for the day. Probably a bit of cooking, bit of eating. No gym. Did the gym yesterday. Some nice box squats or box jumping. Again, mobility work. All right, let's go make a new coffee and we'll see you later.